just within the last week or so. But anyhow, can you see me?
Yes.
Really? Wow, that's cool.
What kinds of things do you post on YouTube?
So we post archival footage of celebrity interviews that we did up to 30 years ago. Yeah, it's really, and it's very popular.
Wow, that's
Did you ever hear of an artist named D'Angelo?
Yes, I have heard
Okay,
that.
so he just died. Yeah, age 53. And so what happened was I found the raw footage of our interview with D'Angelo, 13 and a half minutes. And the guy I work with, George Whipple, said, start posting the whole interviews. People are going to love it. And you know what? I think we got almost 14,000 hits on that, on TikTok. So yeah, we do something called Flashback Friday. And so we've been posting it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and then we ended up deciding to add YouTube to the platforms because we figured down the road, get enough followers, maybe make some money, advertise, all that stuff. My son, probably like you, makes money on YouTube. He's got almost 4,000 followers. And he gets a check, in the mail every once in a while.
I'm hoping to do that at some point.
Yes, and so that's pretty cool. And he does he goes after people who are interested in wrestling, like WWE and ECW and all the wrestling shows that they have, the pay-per-views, all that stuff. He'll do commentary on big pay-per-views in the past that they've had, and
like Hulkamania,
I don't see my son a lot because I'm so busy doing television. I don't see my other son a lot because he's busy doing his music, and I'm going to see both of them tomorrow. So we're going to see Rocky IV, the director's cut, which is going to be playing in the AMC theaters. So we're looking forward to that. The constant argument is which is the best of the Rockies, right? And that's pretty cool because my favorite was Rocky V. Most people don't think that one was that great. That was another John Avildsen.
Is
directed.
that the one with Dolph Lundgren?
No, that was Rocky IV. That's what we're going to see tomorrow. So Dolph was Drago, the guy from Russia. And that was awesome because when it came out, it was around the time that Reagan was able to get Gorbachev to take down the Berlin Wall. It was unbelievable. And that movie was almost prophetic. And I remember one of the critics, Dennis Cunningham, actually said Sylvester Stallone is a self-proclaimed ambassador to Russia. He called him that. So that was amazing timing, that movie. But I was in Rocky II, and like I said, was there just to keep us there for shooting for 12 hours. First of all, there was 17,000 people in the audience, unlike the first Rocky where you just saw file footage. Now you can tell, if you look at the file footage of the audience, it's very noisy because it's film. In order to make film look brighter, you have to increase the ISO or the ASA or whatever, and it makes it more grainy. So they didn't want to do that in Rocky II. They wanted to have a real audience. So they blacked out the bleachers up top, and they had 17,000 of us sitting cheering. And the first round that they shot, did you ever see Rocky II?
No.
The first round that they shot was round 15, the last round, because they wanted to make sure we were all there. Then the rest of the time, they kept giving out door prizes and free Pepsi and Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so that's it. But for me, it was fascinating to watch the whole process. It's the first time that we saw the modern Steadicam. Okay? You know how they have Steadicams for iPhones and other cameras now. This is the first big Steadicam for a film camera, but it had a video readout. So his eye's not like this, right there. He's a famous guy. His name was Garrett something. And one of his names is Garrett, first to last name. I can't remember. I got to look it up. But I saw him with the camera floating in front of him. I'm like, what the hell? And then later on, I saw that he had a hydraulic arm going to his back. Now, a lot of pressure on his back, but that's how it's so steady. And the first time they tried to use the Steadicam Rocky 1, they literally had weights. It looked like barbells on it. You know, I don't even know how they did it. But this one was a far refined version of a Steadicam, and that's what I was fascinated with, because I had just gotten out of college. I majored in television and took a course in film, 2 courses in film, and I was really into shooting actually and editing. And so when I saw what they did, it was a real education for me, and I met somebody who was actually the older brother of Milton Berle, and Milton Berle was a famous comedian, right? This guy, William Berle, was 86 years old, and turns out he was telling me he was the director of the Three Stooges.
The Three Stooges?
The Three Stooges, yeah. And if you look at some of those films, shot on film, they're amazing. Like, how did they do that stuff back in the 30s or 40s or whatever? Some of the things they did were amazing, the special effects and stuff like that. And he was one of the directors of the Three Stooges. So I met him there. It was a real experience. And then fast forward to within the last 2 years, we covered Tulsa King. Have you heard of that series, Tulsa King? It's Sylvester Stallone is he plays a mafia guy that moves out to Oklahoma, and deals with the tough people there.
Was that recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's could be on Netflix. Probably not. It's probably on another streaming service.
I remember seeing some advertisement for a Sylvester Stallone project recently.
So anyhow, I told George, my reporter, when he interviews Sylvester, tell him that I was in Rocky 2, right? And he always forgets, And then finally, they got the interview done that I'd shot handheld, on the red carpet. And I said, George, ask him about Rocky 2. And George goes, oh yeah, he was in Rocky 2 or 3 or something like that. And Stallone goes, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I was like one of the 17,000 people in the audience. He goes, oh, good to see you again. And then I told him the whole story about William Berle. He said, oh, I didn't know that. But the first reaction he said, that when I mentioned that I was in Rocky 2, he goes, oh, that was my favorite. Now, nobody knows that. Nobody knows that was his favorite. Isn't that interesting? Because you can make an argument that Rocky won the Oscar, the first Rocky. Or you could say that Rocky 2 is great because he actually wins, okay? Because he loses the first one. And then Rocky 3 was great because you had Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. Then you had Rocky 4 was great because you got Dolph Lundgren. Then Rocky 5 was great because you had Tommy Gunn. And that was my favorite one, right? But he said that Rocky 2 was his favorite. And how would you know that unless you had that conversation with Sylvester Stallone in person? And that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's really amazing. So that was my little history with Rocky 2. Before that, I was in a movie called, I told you, Fast Break, with a comedian named Gabe Kaplan, who played a coach that was hired by this university called Cadwallader. And they didn't have much money, but they really wanted a competitive basketball program, so they hired him. And he was a pretty good coach, and they would only pay him $50 a game if he won, okay? And they had to have a rundown gym, like they had to have a gym that was all falling apart, broken windows, stuff like that.
Why is it important for it to be dilapidated?
Because you're trying to show that this was a really poor university, and they said if you beat I think they called it Nevada State. That was like they were the big champions in their conference. If you can beat Nevada State, we'll give you a contract. That's what they said. So he goes to recruit all these players from New York. All right, New York basketball players, right? And one of them was a hustler. One of them was a preacher. That was played by Mike Warren, all right, and who really was an NCAA champion with UCLA. Then they had Bernard King, who arguably, like I said, could have been better than Michael Jordan. That's how good Bernard King was, right? He still had a great career, even though he had a bad knee injury. They also had a black actor who's a famous black actor named Harold Sylvester. And then they had a woman named Mavis Washington, who was a champion female player in, NCAA girls division, right? Women's division. And she dresses up. She tries to be a man. She wraps up her chest so it doesn't stick out, and she pats her hair down, and she comes off like this maybe slightly effeminate man, but she's a great player, right? And Harold Sylvester has feelings. He has feelings for this man, and he doesn't understand why. I mean, the movie was hilarious, okay, and it didn't really catch fire early on, but when people look back, they say it actually is one of the best sports movies ever made.
Like the Terminator.
And so I was, I'm sorry?
Like the Terminator.
Yes. No, that's right. That's absolutely right. And because the concept of the Terminator was amazing. And don't forget, you got Linda Hamilton, who is a kick-ass woman, and she was in great shape, especially for Terminator 2. She got ripped, okay, for that. And that was not very common back then. Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 3, he got his body fat down to 4%. He was ripped in that movie, okay? And then that was Rocky 3. Rocky 4, he takes that ripped look, and then he adds a lot of muscle to it so he can compete against this like monstrous tall Russian, right? And so anyhow, the way I got into Fast Break, it was a total mistake. I was working out in the Claremont College gym. Okay, it's actually called Pomona College or Pomona Pitzer. It's two. They had five colleges at the time in Claremont, California, and Pomona and Pitzer would unify for their sports, football and track and all that other stuff. So I happened to be working out in the gym. On the other side of the gym, I didn't know they were shooting a movie, and a PA production assistant comes up to me, and she says, and I'm just like, getting ready to.
486, go ahead.
I'm just getting ready to leave, and I get my clothes out of my locker. She says, okay, take your clothes off and get in the shower. I was like, what? She's like, take your clothes off and get in the shower. She started nagging me. I was like, okay. And before I realized it, I was in the movie. And me and these two other guys were towels around our waist, walking into the shower. And then they made me sign a release, meaning I wasn't going to get paid. I kept coming back, and I kept being put in scene after scene after scene. I was actually looming over Gabe Kaplan as a spectator. I became one of the backup players for one of the opposite teams, and it was like, that's how you get in that industry. You just make connections, you get to know people, and then what led to Rocky 2 was the guy. The funny thing is, the guy got kind of pissed off. I guess they call him the casting director. We had a revolt. We decided that we wanted to get paid. So they ended up paying us, right? And it really got that guy in trouble. But that guy was the same guy that was in charge of casting for Rocky 2. So there's a little connection there, even though I found out on the radio that they wanted to do it. But I'm just so glad I had the time. I was looking for a job in LA. And the best I could do, NBC promised me a job as a page for Johnny Carson who was a famous night host way back then. Like Jimmy Fallon, like that. So
Phil Donahue?
well, Donahue was like a daytime guy.
Oh, okay.
And but he was a night guy, and he was the best. Johnny Carson was the best. He had Ed McMahon with him, who was the spokesperson for Publishers Clearinghouse, and nobody was better than Carson. He was the best ever. And I was guaranteed a job as a page for Carson because I graduated from grade school, Ithaca College, and I was guaranteed to get a job if I waited 8 months. And I didn't want to wait 8 months, so my fiance didn't want to stay in New York. She didn't want to stay in California. She didn't like it, even though she had a great job for an advertising agency. She had an office that overlooked Hollywood. It was unbelievable. And she's like, no, I want to go back home to my mother. So we moved to Staten Island, and 3 weeks later, I used some of my connections to get a job at CBS in security. So I started as staff security guard at CBS.
And then you end up on the show?
And no. So I got stuck there for about 14 years. I got 3 promotions in 2 years. I went I worked in a place called Scenic Design after security. Then I worked in the videotape inventory control area, then the videotape air control area. And I got stuck there for many years. And I got so frustrated, I really wanted to become a technician. I wanted to become what they call a CMX editor. And it was the first computer editing system with CBS Memorex combined. But anyhow, I learned a lot, just by working with the technicians. And I ended up starting my own company because I figured, well, I need to do it. They're not going to hire me, so I have to work for myself. So
You hired yourself?
Hired myself, and I had 9 cameramen total, and I was the editor for weddings. So I did weddings, lots of weddings for like 36 years. Yeah. And I made a lot of money, but that also gave me experience that when I had the opportunity to work in these other companies like Audio Plus Video and another one called New York One News, right? I had a lot of experience, and I had so much experience shooting that if you could shoot weddings, it's so easy to shoot for news, like shoot a fire or, a place where there was a police shootout or something like that. We call that VO. We'd go like they send you out to shoot VO, like voiceover footage, but it's really footage that you put your narration over, right? So you shoot, where the bullets are marked by the police barricades, the police cars with the twirling lights, all that stuff. That's called VO, voiceover footage, but we call it VO. A SOT is sound on tape, okay? Where you're interviewing somebody, like you're interviewing me right now. This is called a soundbite or a SOT, right? So you have SOT, VO, SOT, VO, SOT, VO, and tracks over the VO, and you put together a package. And that's what we do. That's what I've been doing since 1996, putting together news packages and entertainment packages. So that's how I got into it. I got laid off by a great company called Audio Plus Video, and then fortunately I ran into a guy that I work with in security and the library who was big at New York One, and he hired me, and I've been working really for New York One for the last 30 years. Isn't that amazing? And the only reason that I got that job was that I happened to walk in front of New York one day in 1996, where I was being forced by New Jersey unemployment to look for a job. And I went right out right away, and I had my resumes on me, and all of a sudden my friend Tom Farkas walks out of the front of New York One Studios, and he says, "Hey, come work for us. We don't make a lot of money, but we have a lot of fun." If I didn't run into him that day, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing but frightening thought that if I had been 20 seconds earlier or later, I wouldn't have seen him. And I wouldn't have worked at New York One. So it pays to have connections, but it also pays to get lucky. It's kind of like the universe was telling me, go out and look for a job. And uncharacteristically of me, I did it right away. And I saw Tom. I also passed my resumes off to 2 other companies. I had an interview with a company called Magnum Video. They didn't want to hire me because they were interested, but I was asking for too much money. And I was asking for like $24 an hour, and they said, "Well, that's a manager's salary." I was like, "Yeah, but I make a lot of money shooting weddings, so I'm used to making money, So that didn't work out. But the New York One thing, and now at the same time, I was also working at the Guiding Light, which if you've never heard of it, was probably the longest lasting soap opera ever. Okay, until they closed it down in like the early 2000s. And I was working there for 6 years as a freelancer, making a ton of money. And I got my dream job as a videotape technician the last 2 days I was there. And that 2 days, I made $770 in 2 days. This is in 1996, okay? And there was overtime involved and stuff like that. It was a technician's salary. It was like almost $50 an hour. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good money. But then New York One offered me like pretty close to almost a full-time job as an editor there, making half that money, but it was guaranteed work, not once in a while, you know what I'm saying? And that was the smartest decision I ever made, because guess what? New York One's still around, and Guiding Light got closed down. So that was the right decision. So this is Morningside Gardens, and somebody's parked in our spot. Shoot, that really sucks. And that's going to be a little bit of a problem, but we'll work it out. We usually park right here, and then we get a bin, and then we load it up. Hopefully they're going to leave soon. All right, let me see who's behind me.
Is it okay if I film in the studio to film what it looks like?
Yeah, well, this isn't really a studio. I mean, she's calling it a studio, but yeah, you're welcome to. And, it's probably a good idea because you could show it before it really gets built, right? Because she's building up her own fashion studio. That's absolutely right. We have a TV studio up in Garrison, so we should bring you up to film that sometime. That's really cool. It's got a green screen. We got the archive room, and then we've got what we call the campaign button room, and we'll shoot 2 camera shoots there, which could be a good place to do podcasts. Actually, now that I think about it. All right. We got to get gas at some point. I'm starting to run out. So I'm going to have you just keep an eye on this for now. I got to go get a bin. We'll load up the bin, then we'll go up.
Okay.
And hopefully that guy's going to move, because we really can't park here. I'll back up a little. And then while I'm gone, you can shoot the empty seat. Oh, we got the empty seat. Then you could do magic with editing. I'll pop back in like I Dream of Jeannie, which was my favorite show, by the way, along with Star Trek when I was a kid. All right. Okay, so I will be right back. I'm going to open up these windows so you can breathe. And, all right. That's part 1. I'll be right back. I'm just going to the basement of the 80 LaSalle building, which is called Building 3, and I'm going to go grab a rolling bin so we can put it. I don't know if we'll do this. Try and do it one trip. thought of something. Do you have my phone number?
Oh no, you.
Across the street. Whatever. There's no. There's just a little stuff. Alright, if I need help, I'll call you.
This is mass destruction.
There's more that started over there. What time did you notice it earlier in the day?
My grandmother told me about it.
Around what time?
I don't know, I guess 30 minutes ago.
Oh, only 30 minutes ago. This has been going on since early afternoon, though. The camera's got a big film camera. It's a big tripod camera.
Well, not as big as yours.
Oh.
1-0 with the 12.
putting people into the hospital.
Vehicle MBA involving a fire department ambulance and a civilian vehicle. There is no
Usually fires are healthy for a forest because it helps clean, it helps like clean out. And then after a fire, you get lots of fresh growth. A lot of things spring to life. Now, granted, it's winter, winter's coming, so I don't know if that'll be the case because of winter, but usually if there's like a summer fire, then, and the weather's warm, then you get lots of fresh life springs up. So
all this is about growth?
Camping around here, it takes forever to light your campfire. When we were out in California a few years ago, I think it's huge log and
there's a lot of vehicles over there, huh? I've never seen this many.
And then they pull into another cube, and then it kept falling, and it would create enough friction.
So there's some fires, just a little bit up there.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Boats still out there in the water with the cannons and the water shooting. Oh, the water is shooting. So there's some fires, just a little bit up there. You can't see them now, but there's a few fires.
So word is that you sneezed.
Okay.
And that you spit hot fire.
I caused the fire.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened. People don't pay attention to cigarettes.
Yeah, this was definitely man-made.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping. I tend to think it's an idiot with a cigarette. And hopefully not.
Well, the other thing is that people live up in the caves.
Really, I've never seen. Oh yeah, I guess some of the homeless maybe do. Yeah.
Yeah, there's caves up there.
I know. I've been in
I've
there.
seen homeless people. The other day, I saw someone pull in
Cart or something.
a cart with water.
But there's camera crew, TV crews down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, have a good one.
All right, you take care.
Are there people up there? Is that why all the ambulances are here? Or are you here for the firefighters?
For both, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, so many ambulances, but I didn't think anybody was.
Yeah, it's just precaution. Because, you know, there are trails up there and...
So does that mean they put a call out and every ambulance in the area shows up?
They assign it
Oh,
to
they
specific
assign it.
units, yeah.
Got it.
And whoever gets it, gets it.
Medical branch station.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many like ambulances.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And it's a lot. There's
Station medical
here.
branch board.
going all the way
If
down
you
there.
see them, just round them up and get them going.
Yeah, it's a big one.
E19,
This is arson.
E13,
I don't know, because there was
17
also
Ida.
a fire.
19 Oscar, 13. Do you have 13 Frank there?
You heard?
Stay safe. Wow, I didn't realize the fire went all the way down to
So you got the whole scope of the apartment, even the unmade bed. There we go. So all these boxers are my friend Scotty's books. And he sells books, and he's got great books. I mean, they're just incredible. And here we go. Oh, yeah. I think we're good. Let me just open this. And these are the carpets that she's going to glue down so we don't trip. And now we got to get some gas. Lucky on Ray Key. So how's the low light capability of that?
It doesn't do too well in low light, but
How old is that?
I got it like
Is it HD?
yes.
Wow, that's
It
fantastic.
goes up to 4K, but I usually
Oh, it does do 4K?
Yeah, but I do it in 1080p because then I get 9 hours of footage.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so we've switched to 4K. We're not allowed to do 4K, by the way, in New York 1. But I'm an outside contractor, so I keep all my original footage. We don't store it on their servers. So, but I gotta tell you, I'm buying so many SSDs and hard drives to store the 4K footage. It's 4 times 1080p as far as how much space it uses. But what's cool about it is I can punch in for social media, punch in for television, go back for social media, and no loss of quality. Like anytime.
Why don't they let you use 4K?
Because they don't have the capacity. Remember, they have 30 people going out to shoot every day, right? So they come back to Ninjas, they offload their footage, but that's 30 people shooting, about 40 to 50 minutes each, 7 days a week. That's like way too much. Like New York 1 didn't switch to. We went 16:9 SD, okay, standard definition, maybe around 2009 or maybe even 2006. but we didn't go full HD until 2014. Because, you know, then it became cheaper to store, the space became cheaper. So it wasn't so expensive to store all that stuff on the servers. But I like shooting 4K because I can shoot wide for social media. I can punch in for television. How you doing? And when I punch in, you don't lose quality because it's 4K. If it's 1080p, you can see it gets a little soft. So
When you zoom in.
when you punch in the editing process, you know, you can.
Is that like zooming in for an image that you've already recorded?
Yeah, you've already recorded it, and you can what we call punch in. I can go tighter. I can even do animated shots where I can do my own zoom, a moving zoom. But when I go in tight, you don't lose quality. Now the other thing, and it's kind of sad. You see the plate? Mm-hmm. What does it say? Go ahead, shoot the plate.
NYP NY1.
Right. So NYP plates are very powerful. You can park anywhere. I can park at a hydrant. I don't get a ticket. Right? It's called New York Press. And New York 1 I threw in there. The problem is I had NYP plates officially through New York State for about 20 years. But all the people that I work with at Time Warner Cable, when Spectrum came in, they got rid of them. So I didn't have any connections that could help me get the NYP plates. So what did I do? I went to California and I asked for a custom plate that said NYP, and they approved it.
You got an NYP plate from California?
Well, it's California. Isn't that great? But the problem is I'm losing it. I'm losing it this month because my wife will no longer let me use our California, my ex-wife, California address for the registration. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a custom plate that says NY1. It'll be New York. It'll say NY1. Say NY1 News. That's what I'm going to put. NY1 News, and I'll get tickets. Believe me, but hopefully not so many. $50 miles. And I'm just going to put a little in. The guy that usually supplies me with gas is my client, but I haven't been working with him for a few days, so I didn't have his credit card. So we'll go up to the Shell station. Oh, actually, there's a Shell station down here. Let me think about that. No, we're better off going north. But yeah, I don't want to take any chances. We're kind of low. I usually don't like driving it this low.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Now this vehicle is very expensive. It's right now it's a little more than I can handle. I got to start bringing in more, get more clients and bring in more money so I can afford this thing. But I love it. It's the best vehicle I've ever had. I had a bad accident in it. Bad accident.
What happened?
So, Palisades Parkway North, driving almost 4:30 in the morning, so it's dark. And what I didn't see was there was a metal grating right in the road. And who knows how it got there. Probably fell off a municipal truck or something, and they didn't realize it. And what happened was four vehicles hit it in front of me. 3 of them got totaled because they're small, right? The 4th one was an Escalade, and he just barely hit it, and I helped him try and change his tire, then the police wouldn't let me. It was pouring rain. So I set up my video lights and I shot this metal grating. Amazingly, this vehicle, even though when I went over it, had 4 blown tires and 4 cracked wheels. Rear independent suspension arm broken, calipers all disabled, and the brakes. So I had to have it towed. But amazingly, this vehicle pushed that grating off the road. And I don't know how it did it to this day. Because I went back, and the police and I tried to pick it up. It was so heavy, we couldn't lift it an inch off the ground. Couldn't lift it, couldn't budge it. So how did this vehicle hit it and move it? I don't know. But the mechanic that fixed it took 7 weeks to get the parts in. But the mechanic that fixed it, we got really good tires now, unlike the California tires that they gave me. Run over a thumbtack, you get slowly. I was like, fuck that, I want real tires. So he gave me the perfect tires, and it's riding better than when it was new. He did a great job. Now there's a recall on this engine and the computer system. So they're going to upgrade the computer system next Tuesday, the 11th, and they may replace the engine. And I'm pushing 90,000 miles. Right now I'm at 88,994. That means, and I get the engine for free because apparently there's a major defect with these engines. So they're going to replace it. That means I go back down to 0 miles, which would be great.
Mavis sent a long message.
Yeah, so who knows? I could get lucky on that. I don't think they're going to replace it. I've had no problems with it, but they are going to redo the oil pan system, and they're going to upgrade the viscosity of the oil. They're going to make it a better oil. That they definitely will do, but whether they replace or not, I don't know. But we'll find out next Tuesday. And I'm going to Fort Montgomery to do that. And Fort Montgomery is barely within walking distance of where I live. It might be about 11 miles away. And so I'll just walk back and forth if I have to. And, let me get my credit card, debit card. Oh, first of all, I gotta see how much is on this thing. Gas is very expensive in New York. Alright, so let's see. There you go. Face ID. What? What are you talking about? Don't tell me face not recognized. Oh no, I can't use that account. That's too low. I'll try the business.
You don't know me by now.
Okay, profile, sign off, and sign into the other account. I just submitted an invoice, but actually I'm getting paid tomorrow. That works. Yeah, that's unusual. They're paying me really fast this month. But I have to get through to tomorrow. I have to get through the birthday tomorrow. Gonna need a lot of gas. I bought a cake.
A birthday?
Yeah, for my younger son. And so we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go see Rocky IV. Director's cut. So that'll be cool. Oh shoot! I gotta remember the password. It's hard to remember passwords at this age. Yeah, I'm not going to put much in. It's very expensive here, this gas. This gas is so I'll put in like $17. And then I'll get to Jersey tomorrow where it's cheaper, and then I'll fill it up there. Because I have to use Super or Supreme or Premium for this engine. So there you go. But of course, if we're getting a new engine, I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Let me see. I think it's in here. This is the coolest thing about this. Like if somebody hijacks my car, I can put my wallet in there and I shut this, right? And they'll say, okay, give me your wallet, man. I was like, no, I left it at my house. And they'll be like, bullshit, man. I said, well, search for it. They'll never find it. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
You see, you always have to have a backup plan. That's what my father used to tell me. Gotta have a backup plan.
James Bond secret compartment.
That's right. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, so we'll see what $17 gives us. It's not going to be much. Clerk has receipt. I like that. That's 24-hour monitoring. Too bad you don't have one of those systems where it just constantly erases itself until you get something good. I want to get one of those cameras for this, like the police have. A lot
body
of people.
cams?
Well, no, well, they have that too, but for the car, and that way, if you have an accident, you can make sure you save that footage, right, for the insurance company and prove that it's the other guy's fault, or erase it if it's your fault. All right, so, tell me where I'm going? Okay, hey Siri. It only listens to my voice. Directions to what? Oh, that's right next to my guy.
Getting directions.
Yeah, I know exactly where you are. That's awesome.
Head northwest on West 131st Street. Then take the first right onto Broadway.
All right. Oh, let's 131 miles. I went from 50 to 131 miles. It was $17. It's not much, but at least I'll get to Jersey tomorrow. So that's going to be fun, don't you think? Watch Rocky IV.
Yes.
That's going to be cool.
Never thought I'd see the day where $17 doesn't get you much.
Yeah, no, I know. It's crazy. Well, see, the problem was I had to take, in order to keep my client, I had to take a 20% cut in pay. He's a very wealthy lawyer, but his comp from the law firm got cut by 90%.
Go past this light.
90%.
Then at the next one, turn left.
And he just went through, a lot of personal stuff that's very expensive, and so I'm trying to help out. He's got somebody else who actually took a 50% cut in pay, which I was very happy about because I don't think she does anything. And we're just trying to save him money. And I'm his driver now. He used to spend, get this, $500,000 a year, not him, but the law firm, on his limousine drivers. They literally used to sleep in his parking lot overnight. Okay, just ready to take him anywhere you wanted to go.
Turn left onto West
500 grand a
133rd
year
Street.
these guys are making. And I said, George, this is ridiculous. I could do it for nothing. I can edit in the car, edit the law firm, and I can get you where you're going. And he wouldn't listen. He's like, well, the law firm's paying for it. I was like, that's not going to last forever. Sure enough, the law firm cut it. And I keep telling him, the last 2 years, you could have saved $1 million and reinvested that somewhere else, or the law firm could have reinvested it, and I could have driven for you because I'm with you anyhow, And so anyhow, I finally saw the wisdom in it. So I drive him everywhere. He reimbursed me for gas and tolls, sort of.
Sort of?
Yeah, pretty much. And then sometimes we'll get coffee. Meals keep me awake at the wheel, and and so he's saving a lot of money. My salary, my compensation. I invoice him $18,000 less per year now. $18,000, and that really he could wipe his ass with that amount. But I'm trying to help him because I know what he's going through. He's like a celebrity that made all this money, and they have all these, they have people to pay.
Merge onto State Route
Their
91
managers, their accountants, their security people. Yeah, that's right. And then he's got the divorce thing, and he's restoring a castle that was built in 1881, and it's costing him. It was a total so far. It's $13 million.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so he's got all this money going out and not as much coming in. That's the problem. And that's what celebrities run into. That's why Mike Tyson, would piss away all this money, and then he ends up with very little money. And one time he made $9 million for a fight, and he lost the check. He lost it. It's like, I can't be bothered. Yeah, well,
they say as soon as you make any money, the financial holy trinity, lawyer, accountant, broker.
Take exit 14
yes, exactly.
Bronx Expressway.
Very well said. So wait a minute. So we're getting off at Inwood?
Yes.
Is it called Inwood, the exit?
Yes.
Okay. All right, this is great. Yeah, let's get away from this exit. Now this car's got some power, even though engine might be replaced.
Did you see the recent Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight?
Yeah, you know what? I'm a big Tyson fan, and I'm not sure if I didn't really see the fight. I was kind of surprised that he didn't do better, or there was something wrong with that whole setup. I don't know.
Stay in the middle 2 lanes. And go
Maybe the
past
whole
this
thing was
exit.
just hype.
Yeah, I found it unbelievable that Mike Tyson would fight a YouTube influencer. I never knew Jake Paul or Logan Paul could fight.
Well, how good a fighter was Jake Paul?
I don't know. I mean, he's strong, but he's not a professional. He's not Mike Tyson. He's not Muhammad Ali. He's not. I couldn't believe it. He's going to fight Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson is old.
Well,
60s.
to me, Mike Tyson, what's he, 58 or something?
Something like that.
To me, Mike Tyson he was my favorite fighter of all time. I mean, this guy was a beast. I mean, he just had power like nobody I've ever seen, and other fighters were afraid of him. I mean, good fighters were really afraid of him. There was a guy named Franco, and he fought him in the UK. And I remember when he entered the arena, Franco was already in the ring, and he was like, he looked at him like, like you'd seen a ghost. He was so scared, and he got knocked out in like, I don't know, first round, first 2 rounds, something like that. But that was Tyson like at his best. And then I remember he had a big fight against Michael Spinks, who was an Olympic gold medalist, and that was hyped up. Man, he knocked that guy out in 90 seconds. Yeah, Tyson was a beast, man. And then the problem was he lost. I think the guy's name was Gus D'Amato. He lost his manager, and his whole life kind of came apart. And then he got beat by Buster Douglas. He actually got beat, but he wasn't in shape for that guy. He didn't take him seriously, and that was kind of like the downfall of Tyson. But then he came back. But there was one guy that I heard Tyson said he would never fight, called him the big guy. He never wanted to fight George Foreman.
George Foreman.
George Foreman was unbelievable, and even when George Foreman, wait, it's telling us go into exit 14. That doesn't make sense, does it?
I don't know.
So anyhow, when George Foreman kind of came back, he was big. He was like a big old guy, but he was brutal, man. I mean, nobody could beat him. The only guy that really beat him that I remember was Muhammad Ali, and that was Ali pulled off a miracle.
Take the exit,
in that one.
then keep right toward
He made Foreman punch himself out. Then he did something called a rope-a-dope, and Foreman just kept getting tired. And Ali said, yeah, keep punching, man. You're not going to have any energy left. He would jive talking during the whole thing. And then he ended up knocking him. I think he knocked him out at the very end. And they called that that wasn't the Thriller Manel. Oh, I think that was the Rumble in the Jungle. I think it was in Zaire. It was in the African country Zaire. And there you go. I don't understand. Why is it sending me this crazy way? I don't get it.
In about 1.5 miles.
Oh, here we go.
Take exit 17.
Yeah. Why are they sending us with all the traffic? Makes no sense. But and my other favorite boxer was Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray he had speed like you wouldn't believe, and the big fight that he had, he had some big fights, but the biggest one was against Roberto Duran. Manos de Pietra. Hands of stone, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, this guy was really good. I mean, he was amazing, from Panama. And he was in Rocky 2.
Just like you.
He was in Rocky 2, but he was in, obviously he wasn't in the sports arena. He was in the gym. And he basically spars against Rocky, and it just made Rocky look so bad. But that was the point. Then Mickey would get on Rocky's case like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong? You stink. You're stinking up the place. Why don't you go back to carrying spit? You don't belong in the ring," like that. And that was Duran that just like was going after him, and that was really cool. Whoa!
Stay in the second lane
Look at
from
that.
right and go past this exit.
He's really moving fast there, that cop. Wonder what's going on there.
Maybe it's speed racer.
Something's going on. I'm surprised he doesn't have his lights on. So I've wait a minute. Exit 17. So this exit what? Oh, here we go. Coming up here. Boy, they're really moving. Wonder what they're doing.
Tokyo Drift.
Wow.
Take the exit, then continue onto Riverside Drive.
I think they're going after somebody, but they want to catch up to him before they put the lights on.
Continue onto Riverside Drive, then take a slight left turn onto Broadway.
So, Sugar Ray ended up, fighting Duran, and Don King was the promoter. And the way it was refereed, they allowed Duran to tie up Sugar Ray, because there's no way Duran could stand up to his flurries and his speed, of punching. so he would try and tie him up, and they allowed him to tie him up, and then he just barely beat Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray lost the fight, but they were really setting it up for a rematch, and they were making a shitload of money on these fights. And sure enough, the second one was the No Mas fight. Have you ever heard
Go
about
past
that?
this
No
light.
more?
Then at the
No
next
mas.
one, take a slight left
Duran said, no more, no more. Exactly. Sugar Ray was beating him so bad, and he came in out of shape. He came in out of shape.
Sugar Ray Leonard?
No,
Oh, the other guy.
Duran.
turn. At the light,
Roberto
take
Duran.
a slight left turn onto
Yeah,
Broadway.
and it's too bad because you want to see these guys at their best, But he actually quit. He said, no mas, no mas. Something was wrong. Something like he had something wrong.
In a quarter mile,
He
turn
ate
right
something
onto
bad. It just they did a whole movie about it to explain the whole thing. But when you watch the movie, you realize how amazing Duran was. He was boy,
Speed
he
limit
had a
camera
lot of
ahead.
fans. But I love Sugar Ray. I love that speed. I watched him in the Olympics in 1976. He won the gold medal. They had a lot of gold medal winners in the American boxing team.
Speed limit camera ahead.
Michael Spinks, Leon Spinks, his brother. I would have liked to see Leon go against
Go
Mike
past this
Tyson.
light.
That would
Then
have
at
been
the
a good
next
fight.
one, turn right.
But he probably got out of the game.
You could let me off here.
Are you sure?
Yes, I can make it from here.
Yeah. Are you stopping off somewhere?
Yeah,
or-
at Seatown.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you very much, Robin.
My pleasure.
You have
Pleasure meeting
some
you, Andre. Thank you for your
amazing
help.
stories.
Man, yeah. Put it up on YouTube, man.
Hopefully
make,
we'll
make
get
some
to-
money. Make us some money, man. One thing I'll tell you. One thing more. There's a movie called Whipple's World coming out, and it's about George Whipple. And he's not only entertainment reporter and farmer for like 45 years. He's a father. He's a philanthropist, but he's also the #1 employment lawyer in the world. #1. So that's interesting. So these guys did a documentary about us, and it's coming out in June, Tribeca Film Festival. So we're excited about that. So that's a little tease, a little promo for June 2026. You need your thing back there, right? I'm
Yes.
going to open this for you.
If they put the fire out tonight, which they probably will, I'm going to assume they will. Tomorrow could be interesting to see all like the burnt sort of ashes and charcoal.
Are you going to go tomorrow and look at it?
No, I'm not going to.
Oh, just like his father.
Just like Daddy. That's kind of cool. You see the, so there's a drone. Okay. Do you see that like vertical shaft of light going through the smoke, the haze? That volumetric? Yeah, there's a drone. So I watched them launch a drone. It went straight up in the air. It's blinking that like bright white, green, and red flash. There's another one over there. So they got 2 drones, or they might actually have 3 drones looking down. Yeah, man, you're a little late to the party. Everybody's already here. This dude showing up late with his lights flashing, sirens on. Yeah. Yeah, he's only like 3 hours late. Good going, buddy. Oh, look at that. They got, they're bringing in the wood chipper.
To dispose of all the bodies. probably what started the fire.
Some good food. Somebody's cooking up something good.
Cooking up the whole state.
Cooking up the forest.